Hey guys, Energy back here. I'm not even gonna talk about my upload schedule because, yeah, I'm just not. But to kind of focus on what this video is all about, I just want to, or actually, kind of, just stay on a little bit of a tangent here. I just kind of want to show you guys that this isn't clickbait. This is gonna be seven potential breakout picks for 2021 or whatever. Um, And if I was really clickbaity, I would have put this. I would have made this like 10 because psychologically, I'm pretty sure 10 is triggers a stronger response in the brain. I don't know about that for sure, but that's what I'm kind of thinking. You know how like that's why companies always put like 99 cents or 9.99 or 49.99 instead of having that at zero on there. So I could have clickbaited this. But that's I'm basically trying to say I picked these guys not because they'd make a good list. I picked, but because I legitimately thought that they have a chance to break out or to see a price increase. I think that's one of my biggest problems with list videos because I remember watching this one list video about like top 10 basketball players to break out or whatever, and it was just like listing their base Prism PSA 10 prices of the 2018 class and like the most expensive to least expensive. Doesn't actually tell you anything about whether or not you should buy them. I want to make this um, informative and uh, analytical, and I want to try to offer my perspective on some of these topics. So I just didn't want to be clickbait. I kind of wanted to clear the air on that. Not that it was clickbait, but I'm just kind of want to clear. And then the order. There's seven guys here, and they're ranked in according to how I would perceive them. So like the number one guy, I'm gonna buy before anyone else. You know what I mean? I'm actually not gonna buy any of these. That's something I want to talk about too. Um, I just don't. The way my capital is structured right now, it's just not. I'm putting my capital in other places, but I think these guys all have a good shot to increase in value in 2021. But as always, do your own research when it comes to this stuff because it's your money. Before you buy stuff, do your own research. So you guys are probably wondering why I've got this up here. But so this is a video I made on December 1st. I'll go back and you guys can see that for sure. But Francisco Lindor's Mookie Betts 2.0. Just wait for his cards to explode. I also love this thumbnail. It's like prices go boom, kind of. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. So I made this video. If we go back to my content page here, this video was published on December 12th. Okay, he just got traded, and his cards exploded. So should I go to card ladder real quick? I didn't pull this up ahead of time, but let's see here. Lindor. Let's look at this. Oh, would you look at that? December 12th. Right about the 12th, right here. Sold for 225. And then look what happened. Exactly what I kind of said might happen. He gets traded to a trendy big market team. Guess what? His prices explode. Now it's sitting around 350, 400. So I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna throw promo codes in your face. I'm not going to pump. I'm not gonna make clickbait thumbnails and cheesy and cheesy videos. But if I call something a month before it happens and I call it nearly perfectly, like a lot of things I talked about in this video ended up happening. If I call that, I'm gonna. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I kind of just want to recognize, like, hey, I did a good job of kind of calling the market on that one. Then again, this is another one of my big problems. This has been like this whole intro has been tangents. Another one of my problems with certain creators in the hobby is like they only pump their successes and not their failures, right? Um, so, like, if 2018 Optic LeBron or Acuna's cards, if they tank, well, then I'm gonna be the first one to own up and say that, you know what, I made a mistake. This didn't turn out the way I called it. So, and also, when I go through these, if you guys watch my other videos, like this one, for example, the 2018 Optic LeBron one, I kind of take one card and I almost overanalyze it, so I provide reasons and counters as to why certain cards are better to buy than others for that player and whatnot. But I'm going to kind of keep it short here individually for each player, just for the sake of time. I don't want this video to turn into a 20-minute video, though it's already kind of on that pace. So yeah, let's just get right into it. The first player on this list, not to surprise probably not many of you guys, is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So he tore it up in the minor leagues in 2018 and 2017, whatever. Um, he was just an absolute beast. I mean, a lot of this information I'm getting is from Fangraphs and from the statistical stuff. So uh, he was amazing minors, and he is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Right? He's got the Hall of Fame father, and then this is kind of a little bit right up in their trade value series. Basically, he hasn't performed as well as he was expected to coming out of the minors, and that's led to him kind of falling off the map for a lot of folks. But the Fangraph still likes him potential wise, and so I still like him too. I also think he's ridiculously talented. You guys remember when I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but coming into the 2019 season, his card prices were sky high. Like he would have had to play exceedingly well. He probably would have had to been like top 10 MVP voting just to maintain those prices. We know he has the potential to kind of get up there in value. One of the bigger reasons though I chose to talk about Vladdy was because of this weight loss thing. I don't think many people have seen this. This is the thing about how social media diffuses in the NBA compared to MLB. Because you guys remember when that Zion photo came out on Twitter about him looking like Bane? That his cards went absolutely, and they definitely they saw a significant price increase once that photo came out. Well, this is kind of the same thing. I mean, he's lost 32 pounds. He looks pretty slim. He's weightlifting, and yeah, that's gonna definitely help him play. It talks about how his work ethic here and how he's kind of putting in more work. Talking about how Soto and Tatis were able to play well, and that's because they put the work in. So this is very promising. If I had the money, I don't. I mean, I have the money. I just want to put it other places. I would buy Vlad. I would just as not maybe like 10%, 5%, like 2% of my total portfolio. For some of you guys, like I wouldn't. I would put in. I would consider throwing a little bit of my portfolio into Vlad. 'Cause I think, he's a beast and he has potential to be a trendy beast. I'll say that. Um, Card ladder here. He has seen a price increase, right? This would have been a much better time to buy. That's actually that's a big flaw in the way my channel is kind of structured. I have these ideas. I don't actually. I've got to get my ideas out quicker, so they're actually, so they're more. Uh, I don't know how to say it. I'm kind of tired right now. Let's see here. This was sitting at like 15, so and it's kind of doubled, but this is still a $30 card. And this is increased less compared to some of his other cards. So most of his cards are up between 2 and 3x. What they started at, or at least what their low point was. But this really isn't too far up, only $7 or 31%. I think it's got a lot of room to grow. It's also a good entry point, right? $32 is not an insane amount of money in this crazy sports card world. Second guy here is Ohtani, and if you guys remember, he was massively hyped in 2018. There was all this Babe Ruth chatter. Like 2018 was the first year I kind of like went hardcore into baseball cards. I wasn't really flipping at that time. I was just collecting, um, and this was the guy to pull in 2018. Um, and according to Fangraphs, he still has potential. Injuries are a big problem with Otani. I mean, arm injuries, knee injuries. He has the whole 9 yards when it comes to being on the DL. But if he is able to play, next Babe Ruth is a pretty nice headline. You know what I mean? A lot of baseball card flipping, at least with these short term flips, it's all about hype, right? Otani, somebody who can generate that. This is his 2018 Topps Chrome. This first Chrome card that came out of first Topps Chrome card that came out of Otani. This is sitting at like 35, $40. This is an outlier, probably shill bidded. And if you look at the update's more expensive. It's increased at a higher rate, faster rate. Could be that update's more short printed compared to regular Topps Chrome. Not entirely sure, but still, this is going to carry weight. This has seen less of an increase in some of his other cards. If I were to buy Otani, I consider putting in this. And also, I've talked about this kind of before, and this has been talked about frequently in the sports card world. But the first thing to increase are PSA 10s and your key rookies. And 2018 Topps Chrome update is a pretty key rookie of Otani, especially in that Gem 10. A third guy on our list here, Eloy Jimenez. I absolutely love Eloy personally. I am a Cubs fan, but I still have a place for Eloy. Um, Fangraphs, he played surprisingly well this year. And he surprisingly well compared to what his card prices did. He dropped his strikeout rate. His WRC increased. 140 WRC is amazing. I know it is only under less than 250 plate appearances, but it still played very well. 1.6 WAR. You triple this to a full season, that looks pretty nice. I think this guy got potential to put up some big numbers. There is the complaint though that two stars on one team, right? Because Luis Robert's always going to be the main star on that team, or at least he looks like that. It looks like he'll always be the main star. This is something that Eric from those back pages brought up in a I think it was with Silver Jacobite, maybe Fillington, I don't know. Some collaboration. He talked about two stars on one team. I still like Eloy. Still think he has a lot of room to grow. And, and yeah, in terms of cards, I personally really like PSA 9 refractors. It could be Prism, it could be Pink, it could be just the base refractor, the X Fractor, whatever. These are sitting at like $30. If you guys remember, not too long ago, Acuna's 18 update rookie was sitting, refractor was sitting at $30. You know what I mean? So, um, refractors are obviously high demand, shorter print run, a lot of positives going there, and the nines typically kind of lag behind, and so this is just a really good price for this kind of a card. Um, as I get farther into the list, I'm gonna kind of move through these a little bit faster. Gleyber Torres, he is top 10 in trade value according to Fangraphs. And he didn't necessarily produce from a WAR standpoint in terms of the players in the top 10. But he did produce home run wise first couple of years. Zips loves him, which is Zips is like a projection tool, so it's a statistical projection tool. He's actually increased quite a lot lately. And also, just kind of on a little bit of a tangent here, but the Yankees, there's going to be a certain amount of hype surrounding the Yankees in general, and I think that the Yankees could play very well this year. At least they could be trendy, right? You've got Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, uh, and DJ LeMahieu and Glaber are all on the same team, and that's just and you're in New York, and it's the Yankees, and there's so many good things to like about that franchise from a flipping standpoint. So, cards to buy, I would look towards his 2018 Chrome update in the 10. This has increased a decent amount. Most of Glaber's stuff's kind of doubled lately, and this kind of followed that. If you consider his bottom out point like 35, $40, now sitting around 80, it's kind of a double, even though this number doesn't really show it. This Chrome is actually, so if you look at this same card, the 2018 update, but in the paper version, it's like an $85 card. That's mainly due to um, the fact that he didn't have a. Oh, that's his 2018 Series 2 was a short print, so his 2018 update non-Chrome is basically his key rookie card. But I also think that so the update's basically doubled. The non-Chrome is basically doubled, from like 40 to 80, and this has kind of done that too, but a little bit less so. Which tells me that since so lately Chrome stuff is outpacing paper stuff in baseball because you have people crossing over from baseball, and, not baseball, from basketball and football, and they obviously love Chrome, Prism, everything like that, Optic. Which tells me that the people driving up Glaber's prices lately, they're not the Prism guys. They're the traditional baseball lovers, right? So, and to be honest, the guys with there's more demand for Prism and whatnot, in Prism basketball and Prism football and whatnot. So, if they cross to Glaber, this card will see a significant uptick in value. I think this is kind of. Actually, my chair is really squeaky, so I apologize about that. I just get a new chair, but I think Glaber is essentially kind of at a little bit of a value play right now too. Fifth guy on the list here, Keston here. This is all potential. He's super trendy. Phil's polls. Used to love this guy. Probably still does. Yeah, no, Chrome Update Keston 2019 Chrome Update. This is pretty much he was only in Chrome Update. That's his only kind of true rookie. When looking at Topps Chrome stuff. PSA 9 or PSA 10 are probably fine here. There's not really much of a. It's like 40 and 20, right? So I'd probably go for the 10 if I could. But I mean, if you can get the 9 at a really good price, might as well, right? So he's just he's a kind of a pure potential play. So one of the guys I find more interesting on the list, Rafael Devers, is pretty. Well, the big thing with Devers is I'm kind of betting on past performance here, because 2019 you can see a 5.9 WAR. I mean, this man just completely tore it up. 133 WRC plus, and then his strikeout rate dropped dramatically. Then it ticked back up in 2020, but then again, 2020 is just a weird year in general. And there's a smaller sample size, so I'm not sure these numbers mean too much. And overall, Devers is pretty much dirt cheap, right? this is the Chrome refractor for 30 bucks. This is the 2018 Chrome SP for 30 bucks. You know, he's cheap. He's probably cheaper than he should be. I mean, this is kind of betting on past performance, which is not usually a great idea, but I think he still has a lot left in the tank when it comes to what he can do in the future. The final guy here, this is not, I don't want to say this is a joke, but this is kind of a joke. This is a little bit of an ode to Filmington. Filmington kind of loves Luis Arias. Sweet Generous, is that how you say it? I don't know. This is a really good article by Ben Clemens talking about how in terms of WRC plus, which kind of is a single number that tries to encompass all of a player's offensive production, he did surprisingly well for his lack of home runs. Um, and so if he can get that home run count up, he'll be significantly more offensively productive because he's already pretty offensively productive, but that home run count will then further to um, boost the price. In terms of cards to buy, I would buy the PSA 10 update, 19 Chrome update PSA 10, because the reason why is the PSA 9 is, I don't even know what this PSA 9 is, 10 bucks, 8 bucks. What is a PSA 9? Yeah, 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks, 10 bucks. Seems like a $10 card. Oh jeez, that's a steal. Whoever got this, congratulations. I legitimately congratulate you for buying the X Factor for 8 bucks. But the base is like what, 10 bucks, right? In the 10s, 30. So if you're gonna buy Arias, please buy the 10. I mean, this is probably like more like $25 card, because in reality, Arias probably isn't the next Mike Trout. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe he is. But like I could see this card being 45 or 50 bucks. But even if this card is 45 or 50 bucks, that Chrome Update 9 is still gonna be probably 15, 20 bucks, so it's not going to increase as much. That's kind of my feeling when it comes to the market. It's hard for me to explain that. I guess it's relatively easy to explain. I explained it better in the 2018 Optic LeBron video I did. Yeah, just because the 10 is going to increase the market. The way the market's structured, this is kind of a low cap card, right? So pretty much everyone's going to be able to afford the 10. So the main reason nines increase is because the 10's overpriced, or the 10's not overpriced, but out of a lot of people's price range. That's pretty easily exemplified when you look at Luka Doncic, right? Because his Donruss paper, 18 Donruss paper, 18 hoops, those cards are $100 cards. And the reason they're so expensive compared to the rest of the hoops rookies, it's because his Prism Silver is so expensive, and his Prism Base is so expensive, and his Optic is so crazy expensive that they still want Luka rookie cards, right? So they go to the cheaper options. But here, not many. If this card goes to 50 bucks, yes, a certain group is going to be priced out. I might be priced out, but overall, the general baseball card market is not going to be priced out of a Luis Arias $50 Chrome Update 10. So since no one's priced out, the nine's not really going to increase as much. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. This was a pretty shaky video. I feel like it's kind of all over the place. It seems like a common trend. Hopefully, I can shore that up a little bit. But yeah, I've got a ton of ideas. Let's see if I can actually put them into production and put out some more content, because I would love to. I'd absolutely love to do that. Uh, I just gotta see how things all work out. So, let me know what you guys think about some of these takes. If they're too hot, maybe you guys have other ideas about who you'd like to. And see that's I don't like what I just did right there. I kind of incentivize you guys to comment. I don't really. I mean, if you guys would comment, I'd love to have a discussion with you guys. But I don't want to be that YouTuber who's like, comment, subscribe. I just hate that mantra when it comes to YouTube. So I don't know. Yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.